Boston is an expensive city to live, but that doesn't mean you can't experience some of the best it has to offer on the cheap. Here's the scoop on 21 of the best free things to do in the city. Editor's note: during COVID-19, there are restrictions on travel, and some of these free attractions may be temporarily closed or require pre-booking. Check the latest guidance in Massachusetts before planning a trip, and be sure to follow local health guidance. 1. The Freedom Trail. The Freedom Trail is the best introduction to Revolutionary War-era Boston. This 2.5-mile, red brick path winds its way past 16 sites that earned this town its status as the Cradle of Liberty. Follow the trail on your own, or hook up with a free guided tour by the National Park Service. Departing from Faneuil Hall, the tours max out at 30 people, so arrive early to secure your spot. Outside of the tour season, you can download a map to use. Many of the sites along the trail are also free to enter. 2. King's Chapel. The stately Georgian architecture of King's Chapel contains a bell crafted by Paul Revere and the prestigious Governor's Pew, where George Washington once sat. Admission is always free, but a $4 donation is recommended. 3. Faneuil Hall. Take a look around the Great Hall and listen to a ranger talk about historic Faneuil Hall and its role as market and meeting place. To continue the tour of Boston's historic marketplaces, head to Quincy Market to take your pick from dozens of affordable food stalls. 4. Massachusetts State House. Visit the Massachusetts State House, the so-called "hub" of the solar system, to learn about the state insect, the ladybug, and to pay your respects to the sacred cod. Free tours led by the Doric docents, volunteer tour guides, are Monday through Friday and visit the ceremonial halls, the legislative chambers and the executive branch. 5. USS Constitution. The USS Constitution is the world's oldest commissioned warship, and it is docked in the Charlestown Navy Yard. Navy officers led free tours of the upper decks, where you will learn about the ship's exploits in America's earliest naval battles. You don't need money, but you do need a photo ID. 6. Castle Island. Castle Island isn't really an island, but a vast, green waterside park with amazing skyline views. The massive Fort Independence is open for exploration and free tours. Otherwise, you can relax on the beach, fish from the pier or dip your toes into the chilly harbor waters. 7. Black Heritage Trail. On Beacon Hill, the 1.6-mile Black Heritage Trail explores the history of abolitionism and African American settlement in Boston. Download a map for a self-guided walking tour, or meet up with the free NPS tour, which departs from the Robert Gould Shaw Memorial. 8. Bunker Hill Monument. The landmark obelisk marks the site of the fateful battle in June 1775 that turned the tides of the war for independence. Climb the 294 steps of the Bunker Hill Monument to the top for an impressive panorama of city, sea and sky. You'll expend nothing but energy. 9. Boston Public Library. The Boston Public Library was built as a shrine of letters, but it's also a temple of art and architecture. Free guided tours depart from the main entrance, or you can pick up a brochure and guide yourself around the stunning, mural-painted halls. The BPL also hosts author talks, musical performances and other free events. 10. Boston's Art Museums. Boston is considered the Athens of America, so you should probably check out the art. Boston's museums are usually not free, but on Wednesdays after 4 p.m., admission to the Museum of Fine Arts is by donation. Pay what you can, though $25 is suggested. On Thursdays after 5 p.m., the Institute of Contemporary Art hosts free Thursday night. 11. JFK's birthplace. John F. Kennedy was born and raised in this modest clapboard house in Brookline, now listed as the JFK National Historic Site. Listen to Rose Kennedy's reminiscence, as you peruse the furnishings, photographs and mementos that have been preserved since the Kennedys lived here. The site will be closed until spring 2022 for renovations. 12. Harvard University students led free historical tours of Harvard Yard, also sharing their own perspectives on student life. The 1-hour tours depart from the Smith Campus Center. Space is limited, so arrive early during busy seasons. 13. Collection of historical scientific instruments. Science lovers and history buffs can geek out at this small but fascinating museum. Located inside the Harvard Science Center, it showcases a selection of the 20,000 items in the university collection, some of which date to the 15th century. Look for the geometric sector designed by Galileo, and the clocks illustrating the development of modern timekeeping. 14. Longfellow National Historic Site. For 45 years, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow lived and wrote poetry in this stately Georgian manor near Harvard Square. The mansion contains many of the poet's personal belongings, as well as lush period gardens. 15. Hatch Memorial Shell. The Charles River Esplanade is Boston's backyard, a fine venue for picnics, bike rides and leisurely strolls. Even better, all summer long, the Hatch Memorial Shell hosts free events like outdoor concerts, family flicks and dancing in the park. 16. SOA First Fridays. From the former factories and warehouses in the South End, artists have carved out studios and gallery space. The SOA Artists Guild hosts an open studio event on the first Friday of every month, 5 to 9 p.m. Come examine the art and mingle with the resident creatives. 17. Fenway Park. If you can't get tickets to the big game, you can still sneak a peek inside Fenway Park. The bleacher bar is accessible from the street, with a window looking onto center field. The bar gets packed during games when there's usually a waiting list for window seating. 18. Samuel Adams Brewery Tour. Head to Jamaica Plain to see the birthplace of America's original craft beer. On the Samuel Adams Brewery Classic Tour, learn about the history of the company, witness the brewing process and sample the goods. By goods, we mean frothy lagers, refreshing pilsners and tasty ales. Tickets are first come, first served. Tours run Monday to Saturday, 11:15 a.m. to 5 p.m., and are open to all ages. Must be 21 to drink. The suggested $2 donation is passed on to local charities. 19. Boston Common. Unwind at America's oldest park. Enjoy a family picnic or just relax and people watch. Summertime is for Shakespeare and the winters are for ice skating at Frog Pond. 20. Arnold Arboretum. The 265-acre Arnold Arboretum is planted with over 15,000 exotic trees and flowering shrubs. This gem is pleasant year-round, but it's particularly beautiful in the bloom of spring. Dog walking, frisbee throwing, bicycling, sledding and general contemplation are encouraged, but picnicking is not allowed. 21. Boston Children's Museum. From the art studio to the construction zone, the Boston Children's Museum is fun for all. It's not technically free, but Target Fridays mean that admission is only $1 on Friday after 5 p.m.